Hey, can we get local for a minute? It's City of Toronto Day. It was proclaimed by the mayor of the city early this morning. So happy City of the Toronto Day, March the 6th. You know, our mayor, John Tory, has this Vision Zero project going on. It's a road safety project. He wants to eliminate deaths and serious injury on the streets by 2021. It's a $100 million project, but just how much do Torontonians know about or care about Vision Zero? Campaign Research did a poll just recently. It was conducted for the Toronto Star. And we're joined now by Eli Yufest, who's the CEO of Campaign Research, to talk about it. Welcome to the show, Eli.
Thanks very much for having me. Happy Toronto Day.
Well, happy Toronto Day to you, too. Anything shocking in this poll? Anything that surprised you?
Well, I guess a couple of things stand out, and just to build on your point about Vision Zero, in terms of awareness, the politicians are talking about Vision Zero, but Torontonians don't seem to be, aware of the initiative. And so when we asked Torontonians their level of awareness, only 38% had actually heard of Vision Zero. And so from a policy perspective, the politicians still have a little ways to go to driving awareness. The other interesting thing is when we looked at a number of measures on how to reduce traffic-related fatalities, the number one thing by a pretty wide margin that Torontonians want us to do, or would like politicians to do, rather, is they want the trucks to have side guards. And so I think pedestrians and cyclists and motorists, sort of feel a bit of pressure when they're driving around big rig trucks, and so they believe that putting side guards on would reduce traffic-related fatalities. And
these side guards are put on the side of the trucks, and that protects cyclists from getting pulled under. That's correct, right?
Exactly. It would, in theory, I suppose, protect cyclists as well. It would protect pedestrians, and even anecdotally, my wife is a personal injury lawyer, mm-hmm. and she was telling me about a case where a driver was trapped underneath one of the trucks that when they got into a car accident, and so a side guard would have actually protected or prevented a car from actually going underneath the truck. And so
that is terrifying.
That's extremely terrifying. So it would protect everyone, I suppose, in theory, motorists, pedestrians, cyclists alike.
All right, that's interesting. I'm looking at some of your poll results here. 67% of Torontonians that you polled said they'd like to see more bike lanes. Were you shocked by that?
Yeah, so the bike lane issue is a little bit of an interesting one. I mean, when we looked at two specific issues as it relates to bike lanes, specifically on Bloor Street, and whether or not we should be extending the bike lanes on Bloor Street, and the issue of bike lanes on Yonge Street, just north of the 401. And so the issue of bike lanes is sort of divided, as it were, on Bloor Street. And so, 38% support, 37% oppose. It becomes a bit more. There becomes a bit more opposition to bike lanes, as it were, on Yonge Street, and so we see much stronger opposition to it at the Yonge and Shepherd area. And so depending on where people are at in the city, I guess there's different levels of opposition to putting in bike lanes.
You know what? I think a lot of people that live around Yonge and Shepherd are using their cars more, so I get it, because it's a lot of neighborhood. You've got a dense amount of neighborhood around there, and when you're, Yonge and Bloor, there's a lot of businesses there. I mean, there are businesses up and down Yonge Street, but you go a block in, you've got a residential area. They also are big on adding, 77% said they want more stop signs. 65% say they would like to see roads designed for more speed bumps to slow down traffic. Were you shocked at the speed bumps, or?
Yeah, I wasn't shocked, to be honest. And, anecdotally, the neighborhood that I live in has speed bumps on many of the streets. And
how much do you love driving down those?
I don't, but I can tell you as a father with two young kids who often play outside, having those speed bumps is actually quite nice, because I know cars aren't flying down my street at a high speed, and those speed bumps are forcing them to drive at a more safe speed.
Well, maybe that's why it came back on, if you want lower speed limits, they want them on the major arteries, because they're figuring, okay, well, but we can take care of speed limits by putting speed bumps in the side streets.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The other interesting, number to look at is this issue of technology and photo radar. So that was, the second most widely selected way to reduce traffic-related fatalities. 77% are interested in leveraging technology like photo radar. And so that's almost a blast from the past for people in Ontario, I suppose. I guess we're looking at 20, 25 years ago when we had it last. And so, Torontonians are seemingly on side with that, with leveraging technology to reduce traffic-related fatalities.
Okay, so your poll found that 62% said they had never heard of Vision Zero. Now, with the results of your poll, you taking it to the mayor's office?
I'm certainly not taking it to the mayor's office. I suppose the mayor and his team, have access.
No. I mean the results of your poll, not just that, but I mean the ideas.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the idea, the reason why we do these analysis is because, issues related to transportation infrastructure are of particular concern to us at Campaign Research. We're all commuters, we're all bikers, we're all pedestrians, and so we do these things just to
take a pulse.
Take a pulse and start a debate and start a dialogue. And so we're hoping the public and the politicians are taking note, and we'll be able to affect some level of change with some of these results.
Well, we've taken some note, and that's all the time I have for the show today. So I appreciate your time, Eli Yufest, CEO from Campaign Research.